Today we're going to be talking about the Jurassic event part 2 in Dinosaur Simulator, which will include the Indominus Rex and the Malosaurus. So first let's watch this video that they sent out. It contains some pretty important information about the event.
Did I scare you? Just kidding, I'm no ghost, I'm Sir Blameson, I'm the guy who made the Indominus Rex and Malosaurus. So I'm going to swiftly go over how to obtain both of them. It's not a random mutation chance, you're going to actually find them like a scavenger hunt. By that, I mean they're going to spawn on the map. So for the Indominus Rex, for example, you're going to find the Indominus Rex tracker, which will spawn every 2 hours. It doesn't despawn, you can sniff for it using T. Once you find it, you get a damage quest where it's 10,000 damage that's dealt to everything, NPCs, players. The biggest thing is you don't want to die. Once you complete the quest, you get the genome, you incubate it for 120k DNA, and then using Tyrannosaurus and Raptor DNA, you can get it down to 72k DNA, so it's not too bad. For Malosaurus, it's the same concept, but it's a little bit harder. Instead, you're going to find a fossilized egg, which is a 1 in 4 chance of replacing the Indominus Rex tracker. Same thing, it doesn't despawn, and you can still sniff for it. Instead of doing 10,000 damage, you're going to do 25,000 damage. NPCs, players, everything, same concept, and then again, you're going to incubate it for just a little bit more, using Rex and Raptor DNA to get it down. And so for them themselves, you would think Albino Terror would get Indom, and I chose Mapusaurus for Malosaurus, but instead I have them switch. Indom's going to Mapu. Reason being, why Mapu? Mapu's got the least amount of skins. Don't say Kark because it has Edlosaurus. Don't say Giga because Giga has movie Giga, and even though it was Indominus Rex on it before, it's getting movie Giga. It also has the homage I gave it, and Mapusaurus is basically equal to Giga. Anyway, here's the full thing if you want to read it. Anyway, that's it. Bye.
So that video basically told us how to obtain the new hybrid skins and why Indominus Rex is going to become a Mapusaurus skin and the Malosaurus is going to be for Albino Terror. I'll explain that later in the video. So first let's take a look at some of the non-special dinos, just like the normal movie skins. So we got the Pyroraptor, which will be for the Achillivator right here, which the model looks amazing. This looks almost exactly like it did in the movie. And then we also got the movie Stegosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus skins, which are pretty obviously going to be for Stegosaurus and Pachycephalosaurus. I think the reason these weren't included in part 1 is that because these are more of the Jurassic Park colors for the skins. And here is the movie Spinosaurus remodel, the V4 remodel, which I'm actually pretty surprised they decided to remodel since the current model looks pretty good. But this one just blows it out of the water. This makes the current model look like it's from like 2020. And I know some of you guys are going to ask, how would I get the movie Spinosaurus, the Jurassic Park 3 one? And the answer is, unfortunately, you just won't for some reason. I don't know why they didn't bring back the movie Spinosaurus, but you just won't be able to get it. It's like the movie Triceratops and movie Brachiosaurus. The only way to get it is from trading, which I don't agree with, but you know, it is what it is. And here's some more dinos that they're going to add for part 2, being the movie Giganotosaurus and the movie Therizinosaurus, which is going to be for Therizino and Giga, obviously. Here is a better look at the model. I think they're going to do 2 variants of the movie Giga. This looks like the Dominion Giga and then the Prologue Giga. I think there's like slight differences in the color variations. And here we have the Compsognathus, the movie Compsognathus skin, which will be for the Sinosauropteryx because we don't actually have the Compsognathus in the game. And here's some likely skins that I'm suspecting. Like, they did not say anything about these. This is complete speculation. I think there's a chance they might add the Rexy T-Rex skin, like the brown T-Rex, because the one we have is based off of Buck, I think, from The Lost World. Geosternbergia is like a pterosaur that shows up for like 5 seconds at the end of The Lost World. And then there's the Indoraptor, which I hear a lot of people want. They didn't leak anything about the Indoraptor at all, but it makes sense to me that they would add it, mostly because of how many people want it. And there's no reason they wouldn't, because they're adding Indominus Rex, so like they can't really say it's like copyright or anything like that. But then again, they literally showed nothing with Indoraptors, so just take what I say here with a grain of salt. Here's some movie skins we've seen before that weren't added in part 1, so obviously these are going to be coming for part 2, including the movie Gallimimus, the movie Quetzalcoatlus. This will actually be for the Quetzalcoatlus. I know the movie Hetzcopteryx is technically a Quetzalcoatlus from Rebirth, but because the movie Quetz is getting this skin, they're giving that one to Hats, which I guess kind of makes sense. This is like the one you see from Dominion, by the way. And of course, we have the movie Dilophosaurus from Jurassic Park and the movie Spinosaurus, which they didn't say anything about how to get it. I don't think it'll be just like a normal dino. Maybe they'll do something else with this, I don't know, but they didn't say anything about how to obtain the movie Spinosaurus. Okay, so now we're moving on to how to actually obtain the Indominus Rex. They did go over it in the video, but it was pretty fast, so I'm gonna explain it again. So basically, there's gonna be a tracker, which you see right here. This is what the tracker will look like, and this will spawn on the map every 2 hours. And the good thing about this is that it includes VIP servers, so you can just hop into your own private server so no one else steals the tracker, and it does not despawn, which is good because then you don't have to worry about it spawning and then you just not finding it fast enough. The tricky part is that this will spawn anywhere on the map. You just have to like keep looking. It will tell you when it spawns and when someone picks it up, so that's nice. You can also apparently sniff to find the tracker. I think this is just like pressing T to sniff. So once you find the tracker, it'll start a quest, and the quest is deal 10,000 damage to anything. So this includes players, NPCs, basically anything you can find, just like deal 10,000 damage. So the thing with this quest is that the quest and tracker will be deleted if you leave the server. So if I found this tracker, right, and I started like attacking players, and then let's say I lose connection or I get kicked or something, then the quest just restarts, and I think I lose the tracker as well. Also, don't die, because I think if you're in the middle of the quest and then like someone kills me, I think the quest just ends. I might need to find the tracker again. So basically, once you pick up this tracker and start the quest, don't die or leave the server, which I know is not always within our control. Someone might just kill you, or like it'll just randomly kick you again. And once you beat this 10,000 damage quest, you will get the genome, which I assume is like the dino DNA, in which you can just incubate it. And the base cost will be 120,000 DNA, which I still think is a little much, but like comparatively to like the Titanosaur and like the Mosasaur, which is like 250,000 base, that's actually not that bad, and it can be discounted to 72,000 DNA if you have a bunch of Rex and Raptor DNA, which is actually not that hard to find. If you start farming Amber for like a good hour, you'll probably find enough T-Rex and Raptor DNA to get the discount. And here is a comparison of what the Indominus Rex looks like compared to the Albino Terror. And the next skin is the Malosaurus, which this will be an albino terror skin, which the developer did explain in the video. And the reason why Mapusaurus got Indom instead of the other way around was something about because Mapusaurus doesn't have enough skins. And I'm actually not quite sure why they chose albino terror for the Malosaurus, but it is what it is, you know. It looks kind of cool. Like, this looks pretty cool. I don't know about this though. Like look at this dude's neck. And basically the way to get the Malosaurus is the same way as the Indominus Rex, but it's this fossilized egg thing that you see here. And this will also spawn in the server every 2 hours. But the catch here is that there's a 1 in 4 chance of it spawning instead. So what this means is that every 2 hours, something spawns on the map, right? So there's a 75% chance it'll be the Indom tracker and a 25% chance it'll be the Malosaurus. So if I'm in a VIP server and 2 hours has passed, most likely it's going to be an Indom tracker that spawns, and less likely to be the Malosaurus. And same deal as the Indom tracker, you can sniff to find it, and it'll start a quest just like the Indom tracker, but this time you have to deal 25,000 damage instead of 10,000. So this is also like players, NPCs, anything basically. And same rules apply. If you leave the server or if you die, I think the quest ends and you might have to find the tracker or the fossilized egg in this case. And the Malosaurus will be a little more expensive than the Indominus Rex with a base cost of 150,000 DNA, and it can be discounted to 90,000 if you have enough T-Rex and Raptor DNA. You just incubate it once you obtain the genome. And here are some things that will apply to both the Malosaurus and the Indominus Rex. So both won't be tradable. I think this is to stop traders from just like stacking copies of them so they become worthless. And I think there's a chance it'll be tied to a badge, and that's like the Alien Irritator skin back in the day, where you have to get the badge to unlock the skin. I don't know if this is confirmed though. And this also will work in VIP servers, but not roleplay servers. I mean, I guess that's fine. I don't really have a problem with that. And Malosaurus is definitely going to be rarer than the Indominus Rex. So like I said before, 25% chance of spawning every 2 hours, as opposed to 75% chance of spawning for the Indom tracker compared to the fossilized egg. And when the tracker or fossilized egg spawns, the server will tell you and when it's claimed, but not which player claims it. So this is going to be like the message that shows up once the tracker spawns or the fossilized egg. And here are just some concerns I have about the part 2 event so far. Number one, of course, is prices. I'm with you guys 100% when you say it's too expensive. Me as like a veteran player, I think it's not as bad, only because I'm probably like AFK farming or grinding out the daily missions. But like as a new player, you're really not going to invest that much time into this game to be doing that. Like if I see Dinosaur Simulator on Roblox, I'm like, hey, look, that looks like a fun game, right? And then I play it for maybe like 2 hours. I have no idea what AFK farming is. I have no idea how to do the missions. And even if I did, I have like 3 dinos to do the missions with. So like, I'm probably not going to stick around to grind 100,000 DNA to buy anything. Maybe I can probably buy like some of the cheaper skins like the Parasaurolophus or the Allosaurus, but realistically new players are not going to be able to afford this, which I know they said it's not supposed to be new player friendly for some reason, but still I feel like it's pretty expensive. Also, when they said they were going to increase the discard DNA, they limited that to only the ultra rare and legendary. So like the common and uncommon DNA is still going to be like worth 50 or 100. This makes grinding DNA harder. Third, we have the RNG, which I think they actually did a good job of not making the Indominus Rex and the Malosaurus RNG based, except for like the tracker spawning, I guess. But for the D-Rex and the Mutodon, the chances are only 5%, and you need like T-Rex and Raptor / Pteranodon DNA to even like get the chance. And every time you incubate, it'll cost DNA. And also movie Mosasaurus, I don't know who said it was 50-50, but it is not 50-50. They've now said it's like 25 to 75, which I still doubt because I've known people who've done like 15 incubations of the Mosasaurus and still haven't obtained the movie skin somehow. And fourth, which isn't really that big of a concern, is exploiters. These are the guys with like the scripts who can like just grind amber, also like killing people. I haven't personally seen this too much, so I don't think it's that big of a problem, but this is also like a problem in the game in general. I think what they did well is the Indominus Rex and the Malosaurus sound semi-reasonable. I think the prices are pretty good, especially compared to the part 1 prices. They have not said anything about the movie Spinosaurus. I don't think it'll be just as simple as finding Spinosaurus DNA on the map and then incubating it. There might be some kind of RNG aspect to it. I don't know yet, they haven't said anything. And yeah, that's about it for this video. This is everything they said about how to obtain the Indominus Rex and the Malosaurus. Part 2, not too much is going to change. Most of the movie skins are just going to be the same as normal. You find the dino DNA and then you incubate it. The only 2 exceptions we know of is the Indominus Rex and the Malosaurus. Comment down below what you think of the part 2 updates so far and the obtainment methods. I know not everyone's going to be happy with it, but I personally think it's not that bad. The update will drop on August 1st, which is only a couple days from now. And yeah, hope you guys are just as excited for this update as I am, and I'll see you all in the next one.